One question I have is, I work with people who have Alzheimer's, and
Back to your chair. We're not kidding.
no. But the reason why I'm calling is I take my clients out for a drive, and I always put one of your tapes in. And it really surprises me when they change their focus and they really listen and they respond to it. Like one lady, she doesn't talk at all, but when she listens to your tape, she'll say, "That's right," or whatever. And it amazes me how it really changes, that they're almost normal, I guess you can say, but they seem more at peace with themselves.
Well, you see what they're doing. This is an interesting thing, and this really is a good note for us to close on, actually, because as it sort of falls on the heels of what we were talking about earlier also, that when you spend a lifetime trying to please others instead of tending to your own connection, you can get pretty burned out on that, because the resource of source is often not there in the trying to please that one and that one. It is here in the calling, but it's not necessarily out there. And so over time, they get more and more and more disconnected, you might say, and more not only unhappy, but uncomfortable in their physicalness. And then they begin, sometimes consciously, most often unconsciously, a steady withdrawal of attention. And that really is the best definition of Alzheimer's of anything. It's a gradual withdrawal of attention. So then you might say, withdrawal, yes, but we say no one can withdraw attention from one thing without turning it to something else. Think about that. In other words, you can't stop thinking about something, because the more you're not going to think about it, the more you've activated it, the more you're thinking about it. The only way that you can deactivate something is by thinking about something else. And so what are these people thinking about? Well, they're turning their attention inward. They're turning their attention. They're beginning to listen to that inner voice. They're listening to that flow. They're hearing the call from wherever they are. They're beginning to hear the call. And it is interesting to note that you might think that someone who has Alzheimer's is really far down on the emotional scale, so the call of source would sound like anger. Not so. Those people are in a much further place of emotion up the emotional scale, and the call of source to them feels pleasant. That's why they're so peaceful in their withdrawal, and it's why they are sometimes so agitated when you insist on trying to bring them back, because they have found this place that is much more comfortable. So then, as you play these recordings, they recognize the vibration of it. They recognize it as something that they've been tuning into. And it's surprising to them a little bit, because they're tuning into it in their physical format, where usually they have to tune their physical format out in order to be there, you see.